And welcome to Miller and Mailhouse. I'm Gregg Miller. We're going to be giving you a dynamic look at the world of sports and entertainment. Billy Ray, Don Was, Kenny Lofton, Nick Hexum from the band 311, Robert Wool, Dane Blanton, Jim Fox, three-time NBA champion and L.A. Lakers legend Byron Scott will be with us. He really helped develop the career of Chris Paul. Do you look at that? Do you look at that and say, hey, I really helped these guys get to where they are?
You know what? I don't. To me, it's more of a, it was a pleasure and a privilege to have a Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And, maybe me allowing him to play the type of style that I thought was best fitted for him and for us as a team allowed him to grow quicker. But I saw it from day one that the kid was just special and, just put the ball in his hands and trusted him and allowed him to do the things that I thought he was capable of doing.
Former Major League Baseball star Kenny Lofton, 6-time All-Star, 11 postseason appearances. He played for 11 different teams, and he also has a record for 33 stolen bases in postseason, breaking Ricky Henderson's record. How does that feel to you? When you accomplish that and you look back in your career, do you say, hey, that was something I'm really proud of?
I mean, I look at a lot of things that I'm proud of, and I just feel like that was one thing. But being able to get to the playoffs, I feel that many times, and then to be able to steal the bases in certain situations that I did. I mean, I just felt like it was my game.
A really incredible guest coming on with us. He's an actor, writer, and comedian, best known for his work on the HBO series Arliss, Robert Wool. What do you see about the Mets? They signed Granderson, and I know they signed veteran Bartolo Colon. They just picked up...
You must have a national show, because who else would ask about the Mets? You could have the greatest manager of all time. You could roll up Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, and Joe Torre in one. You know what's going to happen with the Mets if they had them? They'd still lose.
He won the Olympic gold medal for Team USA in men's beach volleyball in 2000 Summer Games in Sydney, Australia. Dane Blanton.
We just really focused one match at a time, and at the end of the day, we're standing on top of that podium, obviously the pinnacle of our sport, and you didn't realize how big it was until you got back, and you just understand, you're not playing for your city, you're not playing for just your high school team or your college national championship, you're playing for an entire country, and that's what the Olympics are all about.
Don Was
wow.
will be with us.
Hello, everybody. How you doing, Gregory?
Doing great.
One time I met Sam Phillips from Sun Records, produced Elvis and Howlin' Wolf and all that. And we were talking about mic placement. And he said, there was no guitar mic for Scotty Moore. There was no vocal mic for Elvis. He said, we mic'd the room. He said, I walked around that little room and I found the spots where it sounded good, and I put a microphone there. So it's almost the exact opposite of the way people do it today. But those records sound incredible. To be honest with you, it's not that different from sports. You go out there with a playbook, but you adjust, man.
We've got a really exciting guest. He's a film director of such films as Breach and Shattered Glass, and an excellent screenwriter. He was one of the co-writers on The Hunger Games, and most recently, Captain Phillips, the huge mega hit starring Tom Hanks, which is in theaters everywhere today. Billy Ray will be our guest. I would not be surprised to see you get a nomination for that.
Well, I can't talk about that because I've wanted one of those things so long and for so badly that I become this unattractive version of myself if I start to talk about it. So we should just move on.
Okay. Talk about somebody to cheer for in pro football. Drew Brees, 50,000 passing yards. Okay, he took him 183 games, fastest player ever to do it, fifth player in NFL history, and they crushed Carolina last week in that super defense. So Drew Brees, a really groundbreaking type of rock star. Nick Hexum from the band 311. Nick, you with us?
I'm here.
Hey, Nick, welcome. I was saying before about your music, I found your sound to be so unique. And when you started out in music, did you look at your sound and the style you're playing as it was something that was different than what was going on around?
I mean, definitely it was out of step with what was going on. I mean, in the early 90s, there was a lot of grunge was dominating, and we just always gravitated towards the funkier sounds. We loved reggae and dance hall and hip hop, but we also liked heavy music and guitar-based rock. So combining those things, it was a tough sell at first, especially being from Nebraska, coming with a brand new sound. But we just stuck to our guns a lot. Like we'd watched other bands like U2 and REM, that they just stuck to their sound, and eventually the mainstream came around to them.
Talking about our feel-good story, Nick Foles of the Philadelphia Eagles has really turned around this team. I mean, they were in such disarray, going nowhere. Now they seem to have order in their team. They've got a good running game. The defense is coming around. And I think that Nick Foles, even though he's only started 7 games in his career, okay, we're not going to say he's Johnny Unitas yet, but he's off to a great start, and I think that the future's looking bright for Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Foles as quarterback. The legendary voice, color commentator of the LA Kings, plus he played 10 seasons for the Kings, Jim Fox.
The Kings go to the net. That's their style. That's why the bounces are happening when they're happening and where they're happening on the ice, because the Kings are a big, strong team and they go to the net. Each team has an identity, and you need all different types of players. But you have a guy like Dustin Brown, you have a guy like Matt Green. These guys are the identity guys. The Kings are a rough, tough bunch of guys. They're not flashy, and they get it done. And that's the type of thing that they do, and that's the type of character they look for.
I'm Gregg Miller. Thanks for joining us.